Hi everyone. Um, Welcome. If you are, I know I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this. I haven't seen you guys in so long, but I'm trying something different today. But if you happen to join, welcome. I wanted to just express my thoughts on healing abilities and things like that. So I was in conversation with my guides this morning, and I communicate with them. At least I try to regularly. They certainly are always trying to communicate with me, just like they do with everyone else, just like with you and your guides. They're always trying to reach us through signs, signals, whatever the case is, and we either heed those or we don't. So I was in communication with my guides this morning. I love this filter. I love being a fox. It's so cool. But anyway, and they started to speak to me about my gifts and my abilities, and how there are all these preconceived notions about healers and gifts and what that looks like, and how important it is to recognize that we have our own gifts, we have our own abilities, and they may not look the same. So, Jesus could walk on water. I can't. Doesn't make me any less of a healer or a person, absolutely not. However, it's about embracing your gifts, and you can tell what your gifts are because they've always been present. When I was younger, I would sit with and converse with a lot more adults than I did kids my age. And kids my age, they just wanted to play. They didn't need healing, at least not in the capacity that I could serve. And the adults, they just wanted somebody to listen to them. And I was a kid, I was always happy to. And so within that space, I would sit with them, we'd talk, and they always felt better after we spoke, or I'd make them laugh or something like that. And I always thought it was my humor that made the difference. And then as I grew, so did that gift of healing. And I've served in many different capacities. I was a caregiver at a gym for children, and then I moved on to animals, and then I moved on to working at a pet shop, all the way up to being a veterinary receptionist. And I was grateful for all my jobs, and there was a time when I would say, but they weren't my purpose. And the reality of the situation is that it was my purpose at the time. And my gifts still were able to be expressed within that circumstance, even if it wasn't like me floating around the room, touching people and giving them life and all these different things. I still served a purpose. There were people that I spoke to that they were like, wow, I just needed somebody to listen, or, oh, that's a great idea, after speaking, after sitting with me for a little while. And I'm not bragging, and they may have gotten that from anyone that they spoke to, but all I knew was in that moment, I was able to offer them something that resulted in healing. Speaking is a very underrated form of healing, and if you can offer somebody a chance to express themselves in a non-judgmental way, it can make a world of difference. And I think we get caught up in the woo-woo sometimes of Reiki, IET, whatever the case is, and sometimes just being a decent human being or offering somebody a shoulder to cry on makes, like I said, a world of difference. So this is the conversation that I was having with my guides this morning, and wanting to share that sometimes people look at me and they go, wow, I wish I could do what you do. And you do, just in different ways. If you work for the government and you happen to be that person that everybody comes to talk, or maybe you work in a veterinary clinic like I do, and you slip the animals a little bit of love and energy, or their parents are in distress or grief over their sick pet, and you are that person to kind of hear them and understand them and empathize at the moment. All of those are healing moments, and we underrate them, and we shouldn't. They're significant, they're meaningful, and they make the world a better place, just a little bit at a time. But those little bits add up to great bits. And as I sit here, I'm holding in both my hands, because I love the way that they feel, is orange calcite. And this is a powerful stone to help you remind help you to remember your gifts and abilities, and to bypass all those things that say, oh, maybe I'm making it up, or maybe I shouldn't. This is a great solar plexus chakra stone, and your solar plexus is the seat of your power, the seat of your inner fire. When you feel the butterflies and the fear, you are feeling that in your solar plexus, because there's a block, there's a problem in that area. When you feel in your power, when you're like, man, I know this, I got it, your solar plexus it's at its capacity, or maybe it's over exaggerated. You can have small chakras and you can have large ones. And that was funny. Oh, I touched my nose. You can have small chakras and you can have large ones, and it's all about balance. And so this brings this orange calcite here, and it's more yellow than orange, but it can reignite that fire within. And again, like I said, to remind you of your innate gifts, your innate abilities, and to really get you back to the place that you need to be, so that you can move forward with your dreams and your destiny. If you are unsure of what those things are, you can always look back over your life at repeating situations and see what made the difference. What was it that stood out? What's the consistent factor? And if you can't figure that out, come down to the shop and I'll talk to you about it, because it's pretty evident after a period of time. And if you just joined, welcome. This is about your innate gifts and abilities, and so if you're unsure, again, just look over your life and see some repeating themes. Maybe your friends can tell you, hey, you know, you've always done this for me. And then over time, maybe you can turn that into a business or something, but the world needs you. And for every moment that you say, I'm not ready, or I can't do this, somebody loses out. And so you really want to get back to who we are. Orange calcite can help, but so can just being and existing in your own power. And so I just wanted to share that, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and hope to see you the more that I post, or if you get to stop by the shop and we get to talk, I would be so honored. But at any rate, have a great day.